Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are diving wrist first into a world where a watch isn't just for telling time. Oh no, they're high-performance assets. We're talking about a brand that has totally flipped the script on luxury and innovation, and really what it means to have a bank right there on your wrist. I mean, it's a wild question, isn't it? How could a bunch of gears and springs, something you wear, end up costing more than a luxury apartment? Maybe even a whole collection of sports cars? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. All right, so let's get right into it. The brand at the center of this whole universe is Richard Mille. And look, you need to forget everything you think you know about traditional luxury watches. Owning a Richard Mille isn't just about having a nice timepiece, it's like a membership card to one of the most exclusive clubs in the world. It's so well known among the super rich, it's literally been nicknamed the billionaire's handshake. So what's so special about this handshake? Well, in the watch world, the world of horology, Richard Mille watches are just on another level. They're all about mind-blowing innovation, prestige, and engineering that feels like it's from the future. And this is where you can really see the massive difference. Think about a classic luxury watch. What comes to mind? Gold, platinum, diamonds, right? It's a statement of classic taste. Richard Mille is a totally different beast. It's all about raw, extreme performance. We're talking materials straight out of Formula One cars and aerospace tech, making these watches unbelievably light but tough as nails. So it's less about just looking elegant and more of a raw flex of technical and, financial power. And that financial power, that's the key to this whole story. Seriously, these have gone beyond being just watches. They are high-performance financial assets. And because of that, they've become one of the most trusted forms of collateral in the world of high-end pawnbrokering. You know, this quote from our source material really says it all. If you need to get your hands on a lot of cash, and you need it fast, and you need it quiet, a Richard Mille is considered the gold standard. It's the kind of top-tier asset that a luxury pawnbroker is always happy to see walk through the door. Okay, just let that number sink in for a second. 1.5 million pounds. That's not the price of a rare painting. It's not a vintage Ferrari. That is the secondary market value for a single, solitary watch. So, what kind of watch possibly commands a price tag of 1.5 million pounds? It's this one, the RM027 Tourbillon. It was designed specifically for the tennis legend Rafael Nadal. And get this, it's so impossibly lightweight yet so robust that he actually wears it on the court while playing in Grand Slam tournaments. It's just incredible. So to really get our heads around why these things are worth so much, we're going to break it down. We're going to look at 3 different watches as case studies, and each one tells a different part of the story. One's about engineering, one's about art, and one's about pure cultural power. All right, first up, let's circle back to that insane Rafael Nadal watch. This piece is the absolute pinnacle of what's possible in watchmaking engineering. It's all about pushing the physical limits of what you can build and put on a wrist. So here's the magic formula, right? You've got these crazy space-age materials. You've got a super complex movement inside that basically defies gravity. And you have proof, actual real-world proof, that it can survive one of the most powerful forehands in tennis history. Then you make it incredibly rare. You put all that together, and you get what the industry calls a blue-chip pawn item. In other words, an asset so reliable its value is pretty much guaranteed. But okay, it's not just about raw performance. Sometimes it's about pure, jaw-dropping artistry. Some of these Richard Mille watches are basically wearable sculptures. A perfect example, the RM052 skull. And this is what is so unbelievably cool about this watch. They didn't just stick a picture of a skull on the dial. No. The skull is the actual watch. The upper and lower jaws hold the jewels for the tourbillon. The back of the skull acts as the movement's center bridge. It's this incredible fusion of high art and high mechanics. And talk about rare? They only made 15 of these when it first launched. 15. So for collectors who are really investors in art, this is a holy grail. And for a pawnbroker, that bold design and extreme rarity means there is always a buyer out there for it. It's a guaranteed sale. All right, for our last case study, let's talk about something else that adds huge value, cultural significance, and celebrity power. This one is the RM057, and it was created for an absolute legend, the one and only Jackie Chan. I mean, just look at the detail here. A hand-engraved dragon that literally seems to be wrapping itself around all that complex machinery. It's stunning. With only 36 pieces ever made, this is what's known as elite collateral. Its connection to Jackie Chan, the powerful dragon symbolism, it all makes it especially valuable in Asian collector markets, where it can sell for well over £1 million. Okay, so we've seen these incredible watches, but let's get back to the money side of things. What makes them the pawnbroker's dream asset? Why would someone be willing to hand over an enormous loan against one of these? No credit checks, sometimes in just a matter of hours. Well, the process is shockingly simple and incredibly fast. A top pawnbroker can value the watch using the latest auction data, wire transfer the money to you within 24 hours, and then lock the watch away in a super secure insured vault. The whole transaction is completely private, completely confidential. It gives the owner access to massive amounts of cash without a single credit check. So this right here, this is the bottom line. This is the why. There is constant demand on the secondary market for these watches. The rarity is baked right in. Prices aren't just stable, they often go up. And when you throw in those celebrity connections, it just adds another layer of desirability. For any lender, it's a no-brainer. It's a low-risk, super high-value asset, period. So after all of that, what's the big takeaway here? We've looked at the engineering, the art, the finance, and it all leads to one really simple but powerful conclusion. And this is the most important point. For the people who own these things, a Richard Mille is no longer just a watch. It's evolved. It has transcended its original purpose, and it's become something else entirely, a new kind of wearable liquid capital. By definition, a liquid asset is just something that can be turned into cash really, really quickly. And a Richard Mille watch might just be the ultimate example of that in the world today. It's an internationally recognized, high-value item that you can convert into a 7-figure wire transfer in less than a day, anywhere on the planet. And that brings us to the big question I want to leave you with. In this increasingly digital, globalized world, are we seeing a fundamental shift in how extreme wealth is stored and accessed? Is the future of assets no longer sitting in a bank vault, but in things that are portable, completely private, and instantly pawnable? It's a fascinating thought. Thanks for joining me for this one.